Hola, Stallions, and welcome. Do you feel like we've been stuck in the same tense, the present tense, for forever? I do. I feel like I've been teaching you the present tense this whole school year. Oh my gosh, I have been. Well, you know what? I'm finally ready to teach you a new tense. Woohoo! Let's hear it for the new tense. It's called the present progressive tense. A new tense has arrived finally. Yeehaw! It is English's ing. Don't you know it? It's English's ing. All right. So just ignore my son as he's making fun of me in the background. English's ing is Spanish's ando for the AR verbs, and I-E-N-D-O and yendo was his name. O for the ER and the IR verbs. So we've got ando and we've got yendo. This is how we're going to make the ing thing. We're going to make the ing thing in Spanish. Okay, now the ing portion, the ando or the yendo, is written in cement, it says. So it's never going to change. Trabajando, cantando, escribiendo. It doesn't matter who's doing it. It's always in cement. That portion does not change. So all the new portion is for you is to think, okay, cantar. I'm going to chop off the AR and glue on ando instead. Cantando. Trabajar. Take off the AR, put on ando instead. Trabajando. Let's do an IR verb. Escribir, chop off the IR and glue on yendo instead. Escribiendo. And that's it. So that's the new portion. But you know what? It's a little more complicated than that. You have to hook it up with a form of estar, and bingo, bango, you have this new tense. So let's get to it, Stallions. She is running right now. She is running right now. Go ahead and put that sample sentence on your paper. This is part of the assignment. Oh, my Word document is not cooperating with me. Pardon me, Stallions. But please put this down in your notes. This is part of the assignment. You're going to be putting in English the sentences, then you'll translate into Spanish, and that's what you're going to turn in. So back to the Word decided to cooperate again. She is running right now, so you've written that down in your notes by now. And then I'm going to go ahead and help you. Ella, and I'm going to get off my Joker, my Jokerman font and put on something a little more legible. So I had the Joker one on here. Remember, hook it up with a form of dot and bingo, bango, you have this new tense. Okay, back to normal. Ella, we're going to do estar. Do you guys remember when we were learning ser versus estar? And the place acronym told us about estar. The A portion was for the action, and that is what's happening today during this whole video. So ella está, my verb to run is correr, right? Normally you would put corre, she runs, right? And you'd get rid of this altogether and you'd go back to the days when we were in school together, everything was hunky-dory, and it would be ella corre. Well, that's not the case anymore, right? So we're learning a new tense. So we are going to use a form of estar, she form, to be more specific. And then I'm going to get rid of the ER and glue on I-E-N-D-O and yendo was his name. Oh, I-E-N-D-O and yendo was his name. Oh, ella está corriendo right now. Remember our song? Ahora vamos a cantar, a cantar, a cantar. Ahora vamos a cantar. Okay, that ahora word is the word for now. Número dos. We are working now. Go ahead and write that in English on your notes that you are then going to turn in as part of this assignment. We are working now. And then we'll do it together. Now we can start with nosotros, correct? Don't actually have to. I'm not going to. I'm going to go with the nosotros form of estar as my first word. The nosotros form of estar. Nosotros estamos. Ding, ding, ding. Nicely done. Working. My verb to work is trabajar. And I want the ando. I want the ing thing. Ando, because it's an AR verb. Estamos trabajando, estamos trabajando, estamos trabajando, estamos trabajando. Right now is the word ahora. Ahora vamos a cantar, a cantar, a cantar. And read the whole thing with me. Nosotros, except I didn't put nosotros. So you could just put estamos trabajando ahora. Estamos trabajando ahora. Perfect. And moving on. They are listening and singing in Spanish right now. They are listening and singing in Spanish right now. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do ellos. And then we're going to do the ellos form of estar. The ellos form of estar is going to be están, correct? Están. And then listening is escuchar, but I'm going to do it into the ando. And singing, cantando. Notice they're both going to go into the ing thing because we go back to the English real quick and it says listening and singing. So we need them both to be in the ing thing. Están escuchando y cantando en español ahora. Now, ahora means now. You can do ahora mismo. Ahora mismo means right now. It's the same as ahora. This mismo is so not necessary, but it's a nice expression. You'll hear people say it when they want like right now, like immediacy, kind of like emphasis, drama, then you'll hear them put mismo at the end. Lean conmigo, estudiantes. Ellos están escuchando y cantando en español ahora, or ahora mismo. Muy bien, next one. I am writing sentences down right now. I am writing sentences down right now as we speak. Okay, whoops. I am writing sentences down. So, of course, I could start with yo, or I could just start with estoy. I'm going to just write estoy. And then my writing verb to write is escribir, escribiendo. Yendo was his name. Oh, estoy escribiendo oraciones. That word's probably new for you. Oraciones are sentences. Estoy escribiendo oraciones. Now, the down portion does not exist in Spanish. So if you were to put abajo, then I would know you had used a Google Translator. See, this is when the Spanish teachers get lots of giggles because we think, gee, I wonder, you think the kid wrote it himself or do you think he got use of a translator to help him? Because you just don't. You don't write things down in Spanish. You just write them. Okay, so we're just not going to put the down portion. Estoy escribiendo oraciones ahora. Estoy escribiendo oraciones ahora. You guys are thinking about the beach right now. Don't you worry. Summer's right around the corner. You guys will be there soon. You guys are thinking about the beach right now. You guys is the word ustedes, right? You guys. Haven't seen that in a while. Haven't seen each other in a while. So we haven't seen you guys in a while. Están. Ustedes están. Okay, nicely done. Now, my verb to think about. What was my verb to think about? It's also the verb to plan on. Plan on. Think about. Starts with a P. Remember, pensar was to think about or plan on? That's the verb we're going to use. This brings up an important point, though. This is a stem changing boot verb. Pienso, piensas. However, in the ing thing, there's no stem changing. So you immediately chop off your AR and you glue on your ando and you are done. And you didn't have time to stem change and screw up. Okay, so no stem changing, folks. No stem changing in this new tense called the present progressive. Ustedes están pensando about the beach. Do you remember we don't think about in Spanish? Instead, we think, that's right, in or on. Nicely done. And then the beach, la playa, and then ahora. Ahora. Lean conmigo. Ustedes están pensando en la playa ahora. Otra vez. Ustedes están pensando en la playa ahora. Muy bien. This is a question this time. Are you eating lunch right now? And I'm going to talk to somebody my own age or somebody younger, just like you're going to. So we're going to start with an upside down question mark. And we're going to start with that. Okay. Are you eating lunch? So, you know how I always used to say, how do you do the do in a question? And I would always say, you don't do the do. Well, in this part, it's like there's no do to worry about, but you might be thinking, well, how do I handle this? It's a question. So what we want to do is we want to go immediately to the you form of the verb estar, so that we get the R there, the R there, the R. I just pronounced that kind of funny. So estás is what we're going to do, right? Estás. And then we're doing eating in the ing thing. So that's comiendo. Estás comiendo el almuerzo. El almuerzo is the lunch. I know in English, we don't say the lunch in this question, but we do in Spanish. And then ahora would be right now. ¿Estás comiendo el almuerzo ahora? ¿Estás comiendo el almuerzo ahora? ¿Estás comiendo el almuerzo ahora? And if I wanted to put tú at the end and hang it out by the, oh, that's not going to get me what I want. If I want to hang it out by the question mark, I can. Certainly not necessary because this is in the tú form. And everybody who speaks Spanish knows that naturally. They don't need to be told it with a tú as well. However, if you feel more comfortable putting it, make sure you put it in the right spot, which can either be here after the verb or here next to the question mark. Remember, question word order is different than sentence word order. Now, I have a quick question for you guys. How would we change this to if we were talking to our boss? Are you eating lunch right now? How would we turn that into a boss scenario? We would use usted. That's absolutely right. And if in that case, we'd get rid of that. We'd get rid of this, and we would put usted. ¿Está comiendo el almuerzo ahora usted? Or ¿está comiendo usted? We could put the usted there as well, right? We could put it one of two places. As long as it's after the verb in a question, we're all good. Okay? All right, but not both places. All right, moving on. And this is our final one. Is he watching a video right now? And we're talking about him behind his back. Right? So we're talking about him behind his back. So we're going to say, is he? Now, in English, the he comes quite quickly in the question. Please hold off and use your he later on. Notice I have not put el anywhere yet. You're not going to either. Is he watching? What's my verb to watch or to look at? We can either use the verb mirar or we can use ver. Okay, I like mirar because to me it reminds me of a mirror. We look or watch our reflection in a mirror, but it doesn't matter. Mirando would be the mirars ando version. And then ver would be viendo. We would chop off the ER and we'd get V-I-I-E-N-D-O and yendo. What's his name? So it would either be está mirando or está viendo, right? A video would be un video. And then ahora, and then I can go ahead and put el with an accent mark on it at the very end. I could also put the el here instead. ¿Está mirando él un video ahora? ¿Está mirando él un video ahora? Or ¿está viendo él un video ahora? Or put the el here. As long as it's after the verb, you're all good. Okay, chicos, so this is the present progressive tense. We use it to say what is happening at the moment. When the emphasis on what is happening at this very moment, we use this tense called the present progressive. Gracias, Stallions. Ciao.